Dear Dave, gach Enya, falsche roeth. Here we are. Um, so, Today we're going to talk about how it is your moral duty to believe in victory, to have faith in victory. So basically, what I mean is, you might be tempted to think, oh, it's all hopeless, we're all screwed, because there's so many enormous problems that the planet is facing and that many of our countries are facing, or just individually, you think like, oh, I'm trying to do this. I want to build a career. I want to have a cool lifestyle. I want to be able to travel. I want to have a family. I want to expand my mind. And the machine just keeps crushing me down, and the way the economy's gone, there can be a financial collapse and, blah, blah, blah. So, yeah. Now, I think everything's going to be fine. I have an intuitive sense that everything's actually like, I think life's like a movie, and I believe there is, God exists, and this is all some magical journey which ends in a very, very beautiful way. Um, However, it's possible, look, the universe is very, life goes on, and it's totally possible in my mind that like everything does, hit the fan, and like we're all just obliterated and it goes terribly wrong. Or like we enter some dark, dark hundreds of years of madness or whatever. These things are all possible. Um, but my point, and I think this is the thing which might be interesting for you, is that actually, what you presume, so we don't know what's going to happen. I have a sense that things will go well. You might have a sense that things are going badly, or going to go badly. And 100%, like, if I wanted to terrify you, I could do a podcast, 13 incredibly dangerous trends. Maybe I should do that actually. But, just like all these things going wrong. But so we don't know what's going to happen. Now, I'm going to give you some reasons why, given that we don't know, you should assume everything's going to be fine. And that it's your moral duty to do that. Not just that you can do it and it's going to make you feel better, but that actually you need to do it. And no pressure, but you're failing your moral duty to humanity and to others and to yourself, and to God, or universe or love, whatever you want to call it, if you don't do it. So, and anyway, it's in your self interest. So it's just enlightened selfishness. So here's the thing. If you're like, okay, I have a cup of coffee, like, oh, coffee is stable. The coffee is stable. I'm walking, with my coffee, and yeah, no, it's stable. Perfect, no problem. It's very unlikely that you're gonna spill that. You're probably gonna be fine. If you're like, oh God, I hope I don't spill it. Do not spill it. Do not spill it. I hope I don't spill it. Your brain's just hearing, coffee spill, and then boom, you spill the coffee, right? Like you're kind of what you focus on tends to happen. Or if you're like, okay, don't think about that messed up thought, it'll just keep coming back all day. Or you're like, don't think of that song, it keeps coming into your head. What song shouldn't I think about? Oh, that song. It just keeps coming. So you get what you think about most of the time. And then this gets into the law of attraction, which say Kevin Trudeau, your wish is your command, talks about a bunch. Um, Very interesting stuff. But basically, like, yeah, what you focus on, you tend to draw into your life. So I think basically, we, by believing, i- whether it's on that meta, and I think it's on all of these levels, but you can pick and choose which you want to believe in. But there's that metaphysical level of like law of attraction, what you're bringing in, why we want to bring in victory and, peace and glory for love and consciousness. Like, yeah, we did it. We're so proud to be human. Can you imagine? Everyone's proud to be human. Wouldn't that be beautiful? And to deserve it. Uh, so that future, we want to draw that in. So, in this kind of mystical fashion. That's one reason. But even if you don't believe in that, also just like if you believe in it, you're willing to put in more work. You're not going to give up so quickly. The part of you which is like, oh, come on, who cares? Just let it go. That kind of parasite in your head is not going to be able to stop you. You're going to be able to, no, 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 we're very close to it, and you'll keep going. Um, Also, you'll be more peaceful, more calm. And so if you're like, yeah, everything's fine, like, you'll be able to engage with these issues and talk to people without repulsing them. They're not going to be like, well, I don't really want to be aware of this stuff because I don't want to end up like you. On whether it's conscious or probably more unconscious, there's a good chance of people being like, yeah, I don't want to be looking like you, like a nervous wreck. So I'm just going to da 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 presume everything's fine and just not even look into these things. So if you can have that faith that everything's going to be fine, then you can help spread the message of actually the true problems and true solutions that are, among us. Um, and yeah, so, and you can waste less time being narcissistic or kind of, trying to like medicate, you know, with a bit of pleasure or whatever, or, more self-focused kind of explorations, this pain of like, oh, we've lost, instead of focusing on that and, can be like, what are you talking about? There is no to defeat. Like, this is all going to be a triumph. It's going to be crazy and messy, but it's going to be like the most amazing movie, we're going to get through. Then, you don't have that much time for the kind of, you know, what do you call it? Dwelling on, negative stuff. And so more use your mental resources more efficiently and put in work. It's like a football team. If they really believe that they have a chance of winning, they're far more capable than if they think, oh no, if they're 1 goal behind, they're a much better team than if they're 10 goals behind, aren't they? So here's the crux of it. What does it hurt us to assume that we're 1 goal behind rather than 10 goals behind? You know, nothing. It costs us nothing. Um, and the way the universe works, I think it's gonna be like an action movie where it's like, everything's crazy. It looks like everything's lost, all hope's lost. Then at the last minute, boom, the good guy comes through and delivers the goods. The hero prevails, and we just make it over the line. And like, whoa, what a journey that was. I think that's the way the universe works. It's kind of all this kind of, sense of humor, like cosmic giggle, that it's going to come down to that. And I think probably it's going to come down to people having faith, irrational, unreasonable faith that everything's going to work out for love. I think there's a very good chance that, like, if we all just develop this, more and more people, get rid of this cynicism and this despair and this, faithlessness, and just say, yeah, no, I believe it's going to be good, and I don't mind saying it, even if people say you're crazy, you're stupid, you're naive. But well, I could say it right back at you, but I won't, and I'll just say, think about this. What have we got to lose by believing? You know, it will make us more effective. And there's a very good chance that we're just going to cross the line. We're just going to, win, but by a very narrow margin. And we're going to look back and go, if we hadn't believed we would win, we would not have won. We would have lost. And like, oh, the belief that we would win is actually what turned it from losing. So we were wrong initially, but in theory, but then that made the difference, and it was a self-fulfilling prophecy, and it made us right. Um, and I think that is what's going to happen. And so, what is there to lose by doing that? Because think about it, even if we fail, even if we believe everyone gets together, yeah, we can do it, and we really go, and then we still fail, then, and the world gets destroyed, or the totalitarian takeover, or whatever, or destruction of our nations, our families, or whatever terrible things, at least we will have done ourselves more proud, and our ancestors more proud, and our future descendants more proud, and the universe more proud. We will have gotten closer. We would have given a more triumphant, better fight. So either way, there's nothing to lose from believing in victory. And this is what the samurai knew. They said they had no fear of death. They were like, you need to get rid of the fear of death. You die when you die. An old man, successful like Miyamoto Musashi, climbed the mountain, you know, 62 duels or whatever, no one defeated him. And, or you die in your prime, 23 years old or whatever, and, or whatever it is, 30 years old and cut down in battle. Either way, fearless, because that's a distraction from the art of the samurai, of the warrior. You need to be 100% present in, your full capacity. Um, and so that's what we need to do. We can't be getting distracted by these thoughts of like, oh, what if we don't succeed? We need to be presuming we will succeed. And then whatever happens, we will be doing ourselves as proud as we can. And I think um, I really have faith. We will have victory. And here's the crazy thing. As you start to act like this, you'll start to notice in small parts of your life how it works out. You have a difficult conversation. You're like, I think it's going to go good. It'll be fine. And it goes fine. You're like, noted somewhere. And then another day you're like, yeah, I'm gonna have this conversation's gonna go fine. This would be good. But in your head you have some doubts. You're like, oh, I don't know about it. Hey, get rid of that doubt. What's that? And so you're trying to do it, but you're not quite on board, and it goes badly. Also noted, you know. And with experience or small things, carrying a cup of coffee or whatever, you start to notice how your belief causes, to a very large extent, determines your success. And so I've had this in my life developing more and more. I started to see more and more how your belief really does pave the way to victory in many ways. And so it's easier and easier for me to have that irrational, quote unquote, faith that we are going to be victorious, you know? And so, you know, there's nothing to lose from doing this, and it gets easier and easier. And guess what? The other side are doing it as well. You know, like the people, I'm sure whoever's trying to turn the world into 1984 is very confident of success. And, well, I'm not sure. Maybe they're, you know, like, I mean, controlling tends to come from fear, and the ego is based on fear. So maybe deep down, they're just something hyper organized, obsessive form of fear. I don't really know, actually. Above my pay grade. Um, but you'll have to talk to my celestial entourage, you know, or your own. But yeah, so that's it. Like we have, it's not just that this will make us feel good and that we have the opportunity to not even worry about it, just to be, as Epictetus said, it's not just that you have that you may, you know, let go of the things you cannot control and just focus on what you can control and just, you know, but actually it's your moral obligation to do so because otherwise you're a dead weight on the universe. You're pulling other people down. You have an obligation, a duty to the network of life, the web of life, to uplift it for all the gifts you've been given to give back. That's reciprocity. It's being not being a, it's not being a parasite, right? It's being a contributor. And that's in general over like, you know, the way of serenity, you know, control what I can control, um, you know, have the courage to control, change what I can, serenity to accept what I can't, the wisdom to know the difference, you know, the serenity prayer. But not just that, but like in this sense of victory in like social redemption of our societies and the long arc of history and making history a love story rather than a tragedy. Yeah. Um, and so, and a comedy rather than a tragedy. Um, but yeah, so I think that's it. This is why I believe if and it is our moral duty to believe in our victory. Let me know what you think in the comments. Tell a friend, share this. I'm Jamie McGlue. I'm running for election in the coming Dáil election here in Ireland for Dublin Bay North under Gaelic Awakening. Or as an independent if I don't get enough members by then. The election's coming up soon. So please, if any of this remotely makes sense, please, you know, nothing to lose. It's free. As a statement of support, you can join my party. Just, you know, hit in your name, your email, boom, you know, www.gaelicawakening.ie. And you'll see a bunch of documents there all about the philosophical, you know, foundations of what I'm standing for. Basically, it's all about freedom, love, peace, truth. Um, but yeah, and just trying to rebalance things because things are pretty, you know, hectic. You may have noticed. And so that's it. I hope you enjoy that, and I'll talk to you soon. Gora míle maith agwaibh tá súlagam go muid go All right, Iantach. Is even lum shiv. Thank you so much. All right. God bless.